Hi everyone, and welcome to another Ben the IT Tech video. Today we're going to be looking at WebEx, how to set it up and how to join a session. First things first, I want to open our internet browser. In this case, it's Google Chrome. As soon as we get in our internet browser, we go to the URL section and we're going to type in www.webex.com. Once this is loaded up, you can see sign in the top right. We're going to click on sign in, and then we're going to click on WebEx meetings. Now the reason we're clicking sign in is because everyone in this particular educational institution already has an account active with their current email address. So in this example, I'm going to be doing my TO number at education.vic.gov.au. Your login may be different, but for anyone in this particular institution, that's what it is. The first part will be your TO number. The second part is at education.vic.gov.au. I'm going to click next. Another login screen is going to pop up, and this one's going to be your regular credentials that you would use for this educational institution. So we're going to type those in, hit OK. Once the WebEx screen is loaded up here, we can see we've got start a meeting. Now just to keep things simple, we don't want to install any applications just now. There are two ways to host meetings. We can do it through the desktop app or the web app. So you want to mouse over that little downward arrow next to start a meeting, click on use web app, and then click start meeting. Okay, so once our WebEx has loaded up here, we can see we've got a few options. We do want to check a few things before we go distributing the link to everybody. First things first, check your microphone settings. If you want it muted, it's going to be highlighted like that. If you want it unmuted, it's going to be like that. You can also see it comes up as well. Same with your cam. On this particular machine, there is no camera, so that is not an option for us to do. The next thing we want to check is this option down here where it says call me. Yours may say something different. What we want it to say is using computer for audio. The reason we change this because on those other options you can actually send the call to another device. In this case we want to be using our computer as the main communication device. After clicking using computer for audio, you can see we've got another option here on the right hand side. Once you click on this settings box, we've got two options. We have one for output indicated by the speaker. We have one for input indicated by the little microphone icon. So depending on your computer, you may have several options you can choose from each of these fields. Don't worry if you get them wrong, because once you're actually in the meeting, you can change them. You'll know if you have them right because when you start the meeting, people will be able to hear you and you'll be able to hear them. If you don't, you'll just have to change those input and output options until you get them right. And all I'm doing is clicking away from that to get that menu to disappear. So now we're going to start our meeting. We have our meeting created. The next step is sharing the meeting with people so people can join it. There are two ways to do this. The first way is by copying the URL and sending that in an email. The second way is by clicking on the eye and then sharing this meeting link by triple clicking on it to highlight the whole thing, and you can share that in an email. Take note, if you do it this way, it's going to ask them to install the WebEx client, which may not be practical for everybody. In this particular video, we're going to be sharing it through the URL method. This allows people to join our session directly through their web browser, which is the exact same method that we have done to host it. So what I'm going to do is click on the URL at the top of our browser, right click on that, click copy. I'm going to open up an email and send that to my friend. They're going to open the link, and once they open the link here, we're going to jump on our friend's PC. So we've just switched over to John's PC here. He's clicked on the link in his email and he's just about to sign in for us. He's typed in his name and his email address, and then he's going to click next. Now, before we do that, if you are someone in the same educational institution as the person hosting the meeting, you can click sign in. Now, as soon as John is signed in here, he's going to get a similar prompt to what we got. It's going to ask him if it wants to use the microphone. We're going to say allow. We're going to skip the tutorial. And same thing, he's going to have to click on this call me section and change it to use computer for audio. And we're going to click off that and then click join the meeting. Now I'm going to switch back to our machine so you can see what it looks like if you're hosting. So we can see we've got a big J here for John, who has just joined. We can also check the participants list by clicking on this icon here. You can see we've got me and we have John. So now we can turn our microphone on or off depending which setting you had it on previously, and you can start communicating. Same thing if you have a web camera.